Hi, I'm Fernanda from Imagine, and I'm here today with Anoop. We met before in his channel. He has a channel called Germany is Calling. We will talk about it later. But today, Anoop is here to tell his story. Now he is a backend developer working at Contact in Bavaria in Germany. But before, he studied information technology in India. He changed technologies at some point of his life. He will tell us more about that. He moved to Germany in 2018, and now he has the German is Calling channel, as I told you, and he works under the mission of helping 100,000 Indians to find jobs in Germany. So let's know more about Anoop's story. So Anoop, tell us how was the start of your journey? What happened in India when you graduated from the university?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me here, Fernanda. So it was a really nice interview that we had earlier for my channel, and I look forward to having a similar interview today. So back in 2011, I graduated from a university in India called Punjab Technical University. So I studied, as you said, information technology there, and when I graduated, I got the opportunity to work as an intern in one of the global companies. So I had to move from my hometown to another city, and I worked there as an intern for 6 months.
Mhm.
And then I got confirmed as a permanent employee there. And I continued in the same company for almost 5 years, so a little more than 5 years there. So I worked as a test analyst for throughout my 5 years there. I worked into the manual testing process. So it was mostly configuring the existing systems and performing the manual unit and integration testing there. And it was mostly into the mainframe technology. So I learned a lot about the mainframes and all the related technologies related to mainframe. So at that point of time, I had no idea about Python or anything related to development because it was completely, day in, day out testing. So, and also the mainframe technologies are completely different from the technologies that we have today. If we compare Python or PHP or something like that. So yes, from there, I thought that it would be better to have experience in a newer technology, um, and it was not really possible to do that in my current company at that point of time because they were fully into mainframe and it was not having any branch or something where I could learn something new which was modern and which could have a much better scope. So I decided to switch company and move to another company where I could get such opportunity, and hence I moved to another company called Infosys. So it's a really big company back in India, and they have also offices here in Germany and a lot of other countries. So my main motive while moving to Infosys was to learn a new technologies and also gain some experience there. Um, so I actually moved as a test engineer because I did not had any development experience when I switched my job. So I worked there for around 6 months as a test engineer. And while working there as a test engineer, I also found some internal job postings. And within those internal job postings, I came across a job which was related to Python development. And before this, some 3 months before finding this job opportunity, I actually started looking into Python coding. And I realized that Python is really powerful and it can be used in various domains. So, like machine learning and a lot of things, including automation and scripting and so many things. So, I started building some side projects back then, and I think those smaller project experiences really helped me while applying for this internal job posting. And when I applied for this job posting, the manager who was hiring for the Python developer, he was really impressed with my coding skill set and the style in which I used to code. And he also conducted some rounds of interview, and I kind of cleared all those, and hence I got the opportunity to move to that particular team as a Python developer within the same company. So that was my starting point of working as a Python developer. And then, yeah, as you said, I got the opportunity to move to Germany, and now I'm in a different company.
Cool. So we can say that finding a job in a global company, Infosys, was like a core step for you, was very
Yeah.
important step for you in order to change to a more modern technology, right?
Yes. Yes. Of course.
But this is not, was not all. As I understood, you started to learn Python on your own.
Yes, I learned Python on my own. I used to like reading technical blogs. So one
Mhm.
such blog I came across had a lot of information about Python, and I really liked the way they explained everything and the code. So I had some previous experience of writing code in PHP as well as Java. So a little bit when I was in the information technology bachelor's. So I realized that Python code is really small but still powerful as compared to other languages, and was also easy to learn. So I thought of giving it a try, and I think that's the point when everything started working out for me.
Mhm. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I think those are very cool tips for other people who also have the dream of working for big companies, international companies, and use modern technologies like developing side projects as you did,
Yeah.
starting looking for resources to learn a new language. Amazing, great.
Yeah,
So,
I firmly believe that if you want to make some change in your career, then you have to do something out of what you are doing on a daily basis. So if
mhm.
you're just doing the 9 to 5 job and doing your daily work, then it's good. It's good for you to continue the way you are. But if you want to move to something better, then you, of course, have to create a side project or do something extra than your daily job.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely not easy to have a full-time job and do all of
Yeah,
those extra work.
I
Uh,
understand.
but of course, if you have a dream, every dream has a price and has a
Yes.
benefit. I'm sure that you
Yes.
are happy with what you achieved now.
Yeah, I'm still struggling to achieve what I really want to do in my life.
Of course, we never stop. I think this is what moves us and gives us the necessary motivation to wake up every morning is having new dreams and pursuing new things.
Yes,
Great.
you're right.
So tell me more about how you finally arrived in Germany. You said that your company had offices in Germany, but how did you make the move?
So frankly speaking, I never dreamt of coming to Germany. So it was all by accident. So as I said, I got this opportunity to work as a Python developer in Infosys, and so for after working for around 6 months in that new team, they informed me that you can also get an opportunity to come to Germany, because Germany is the place where our client was based out of. So I was working for a client who was a major footwear producing company. So I won't disclose the name, but you can just guess it, I think. So they wanted me to come to Germany on the client location so that I can interact with all the client people. So the sprint planning and all that stuff happens in the client location. So I wanted to also gain some experience around that. So for that reason, I asked them if it is possible for me to, come to Germany and interact with those people face to face. And they said, yeah, why not? So they provided me the visa for around, I think, 4 months to come from India to Germany and gain the experience here. So at that point of time, also, I was not thinking of working as a permanent employee in Germany. Rather, I just wanted to gain some experience of, working with international people and how they interact with each other and how the stuff goes on in Germany. Um, yeah, so that was the starting point using which I got the opportunity to come to Germany, and I stayed here for 4 months as an Infosys employee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then you continue to live here, or did you come back to India?
Yeah, so this visa was valid only for, so officially it was valid for 2 years, but then my employer had this contract that I have to go back after, I think, 3 months or three and a half
Oh.
months.
Mhm.
So within those 3.5 months, I learned a lot. And so that 3.5 months was the time when I realized that I would like to continue to stay in Germany. I don't want to go back to India. So yes, so in the last 1 month, I started applying to local jobs here, and finally, I found the job which I'm currently working in right now.
Mhm.
And yes, I had to go back to India because of the contract,
Uh-huh.
and I had to serve my notice period of 3 months with Infosys. And within those 3 months, I also had to apply for a visa, a new visa, and yeah, I got the visa from India, and then I came back to Germany again in February 2019.
Mhm. And how was that? How was finding your second job? What did you do exactly?
Okay, so as I said, my initial thought was not to stay permanently here, but after spending around 2 months, I found that it's really great here, the climate and the people, the job opportunities, the salary as well. So everything was perfect. So I just thought of staying here and finding a local job. Um, so my journey started with LinkedIn. So in LinkedIn, I updated my profile and updated everything that I knew, all my skills, all my experiences, and everything. And I started applying to jobs. Um, I think I applied for around 3 or 4 jobs only, and the job which I got was the third one. So I applied for 4 or maybe maximum 5, not more than that. So my approach was not to apply to 100 jobs, but apply to maybe 1 or 2 job a day, but apply with proper research. So only apply to those jobs which I think or I feel that I can definitely crack this job, not all the jobs which I find in the search results. That was my approach, and I think that approach really worked out because I was not tensed that I'm getting rejected from so many jobs or something, because I just applied to 2 jobs in a day, and getting rejection from 2 jobs is still fine. So you get that mental stability as well while applying to lesser number of jobs. So I think those things really worked out, and I didn't do much of the preparation. I would say I didn't had time to do the preparation because I had to go to the office on a daily basis. And also, as you know, in Germany, they do not conduct interviews on weekends, uh, which is a common thing in India. So if you apply to jobs in India, you can schedule the interviews on Saturdays, which is not possible here in Germany. So I did not got any time to prepare myself. The only thing which I did was, applying to jobs through proper planning, and applying to only those jobs which I was confident in. I think those are the main things which I tried, and it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't do any special preparation for the job interviews or technical tests, any special thing?
No, I don't remember doing anything special there.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Um, Back then, did you have any way to share your work? For example, now front-end developers, they have portfolios to show their work. Back-end
Mhm.
developers have GitHub. Did you have a tool like that where you could show companies your code, your work? Do you remember?
So if I speak about my current employer and the way they interviewed me, it was more like they I actually applied to their job opening using LinkedIn, and then they kind of shortlisted my profile based on the updates that I did on my LinkedIn, I believe, because I did not had any a great GitHub profile or something. I had a GitHub profile, but it was not something that an employer would shortlist based on that, because I didn't do much there. But at the same time, I also had some experience of running some small, web projects and all. I used to create some small websites for customers back in India. So some freelancing things.
Mhm.
But I don't think those things really mattered when I applied for this particular job, because they were more interested in the direct, face-to-face interaction and the code challenge that they had given me and the way I solved those problems. I think that was more impressive for them, other than the other GitHub profile or anything else that I did.
Okay, okay, I got it. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think every experience is different.
Yes,
For some people, it's smoother. For some people, don't need to do a lot of preparation. For others, you need to prepare more. It really
yes,
depends on the case. Yeah, every case will be different.
yes.
Mhm. Okay. So you told me already many things that you liked about Germany. The weather, which is a surprise for me. Most of the people I know, they complain about the weather.
Yeah, they should go to India then and see the difference. Yeah. So I come from south of India, which is really hot, almost whole of the year. So it reaches above 40 degrees, and it's really humid at the same time. And it's really, you cannot bear that heat.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, like 29 is too hot. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me some things that you liked here in Germany. Um, did you feel any kind of cultural shock? Anything which was surprising for you, very different from your culture in India?
Um, yes, I think there are a lot of things which are different. So Germany was my first international travel. So before that, I never came out of India. So it was a really shock for me, not because it's Germany, but it's different from India.
Mhm.
Um, so the first thing which I noticed was everything is really clean in Germany. So in India, I won't say it's a mess, but it's really not that clean everywhere. So you have to, yeah, there are a lot of things in India which you do not like, but it's like that. It's mainly because of the overpopulation and so many other reasons. But I think when you come from India to a country like Germany, the first thing you notice is how clean the cities and the roads are. But maybe the natives here might not find it that clean, but for a person who's coming from India, it's really clean. That was one of the most different thing which I found as compared to India. The other one was, the elderly people here are also always out of their houses. So in India, they are just staying inside their house and they are not doing any physical activities. But in India, in Germany, most of them are really active. They're riding bicycles and they're doing jogging, and I think they're really active as compared to Indian elderly people. Um, what else? I think, yeah, another funny incidents, I would say. So you also asked me if there is any funny incident. So yes. So as soon as I landed in Germany, I stayed in a hotel, and in that hotel, it was not a very hi-fi hotel, but it's a normal hotel, I would say. And I did not find a way to get the drinking water actually there, because I think in Germany, the small hotels, they do not have receptionists sitting 24 hours a day. Yeah, so they sit only till I think 5 p.m. or something. And after 5 p.m., you cannot get someone to talk to if you have some questions or something about the rooms or something. So it was around 5 p.m. and I went to the receptionist and I asked him if I can get some, drinking water, because I could not find it anywhere. And he said, we do not have such facility, so you can just drink the water from your home, from your room. And I said, there is no supply of water in my room as well, because I can't find any taps there. So he said, there is a bathroom and you can go to the washroom and get the water there because it's drinkable. And I said, what? Because in India, we can't drink water like that. In India, if you go to the washroom, then it's like the water is not even fit for, the normal bathing. And so he asked me to drink that water. So I was really shocked about that thing because it was not expected, and that too on the first day. So I did not drink that water because I was really afraid of it. And I went to a nearby shop. I bought a small bottle of water and I drink that. And next day when I went to office, my colleagues told me that it's normal here and you can safely drink those water and it's perfectly fine. Then I started drinking that water and I stayed in that hotel, I think, for 5 days. And for those 5 days, I drank water from the wash basin, and it was not that bad. I think the taste was just normal. That was one of the funniest experience and a cultural shock as well for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine. It's the same for me.
Okay.
I come from Brazil, and there we cannot drink the water from the tap.
Mm,
No, not at all. And
okay.
also, some people when they come to from Brazil to Europe,
Mm-hmm.
they don't trust that much, so they prefer to buy water in a bottle from the supermarket or something.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool, very cool. Anoop, now tell me about Germany's Calling. This is your YouTube channel, and you told me last time that you work under the mission of helping 100,000 Indians to find jobs here, to relocate to Germany. So, how did you start it, and how do you help those people to find jobs in Germany?
Yeah. So this idea actually started because when I was searching for jobs in Germany, I did not find much information about the visa process, or how do you actually find a job if you are not a German, and how do you find English speaking jobs. And there were so many questions which were kind of unanswered for me because I could not find relevant information back then. And once I found my job here, and once I updated my profile in LinkedIn, a lot of people started asking me these questions because they were also interested in finding jobs in Germany. And I think I answered some around 100 people so far on my LinkedIn profile. And I think it's really difficult when you get asked the same question and you have to answer the same answer to each and every person. So I think maybe it's yeah, to solve this question and answer problem. This idea came into my mind that I can create a public platform wherein I can provide the answer once, and all those having similar questions can come to that platform and either read it or watch a video, or any sort of that information which could help them get a job in Germany. So for that reason, I started this YouTube channel wherein I initially gave my own perspective of finding jobs in Germany. And then I realized that it would be also nice to interview people who are already settled in Germany and share their experiences as well. And this was the main motive. And it really worked out. And right now we have over 450 subscribers. And I think it's just been 3 months or so. And I also started a website, the germanyscalling.com, wherein I have listed all the steps and ways of finding jobs in Germany. And also, I write blogs on a regular basis about different topics related to getting a job in Germany. Um, and other than these two things, I also manage a group of around 140 people at the moment who are also looking for jobs in Germany, or there are also 5 experts who already found a job in Germany from India, and they are sharing their experiences within that group, and they get asked questions about finding jobs in Germany and all those questions related to visa, or maybe the expenses and the lifestyle in Germany, all those questions. So I think as experts, they are also able to help others, and I am kind of able to provide a platform for those experts so that they can also help their friends or the community. So I think it's working out well. And within the last 3 months, we crossed over 140 members in that group, and I think it's a really good growth. And we are planning for, as I said earlier, 100,000 members, which will definitely take time, but I think it's not impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very kind of you. Share knowledge, share inspiration as well. Yeah, while working for Imagine, I believe that when we share our stories, our information, the things you have been learning with people here on how to find jobs, how to succeed in interviews, how to
Mhm.
apply for visa and relocate, we're not only sending the message, do this, do that, but we are actually saying it's possible. I know people
Yes.
who did this. You can do this as well. You don't need to be in Germany to find a job here. You can
Yeah.
do this from India, from your country. So yeah, I think this is the biggest importance of your work. You send, you share inspiration. So that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
And
great.
one other reason why I started this was because people in India, they do not actually really know that they can also find a job in Germany while they are still in India. So when I was there back in 2018, I think I had no clue that I can even get a job abroad. So I can even move out of India as a software developer. So once I came here, then I realized that it was really easy. And if I had planned this before, then I would have, earned, I think 5 or 10 times more than what I used to earn in India, doing the same amount of work. So I think it's really important that you should know that these kind of opportunities also lies. And if you're really willing to move out of India and earn more money, then yeah, that's the reason why I started this, to educate people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you said before, I think living and working here is not only about earning more money. You also pay more taxes.
But
But
still, it's if you look at the net amount, it's still a lot,
yeah, okay, but the
at
point
least
is,
compared to India.
yeah, no, yeah, I understand. Compared to many countries, yeah, it's yeah, you definitely can find great salaries here. But my point
Mhm.
is, it's not only about the money, the salary you
Yeah.
get at the end, but you also have other benefits. Like I said, recruiters, they don't have interviews during the weekends because
Yes.
I feel like companies, they really respect your time, your free time. There's also the fact that the elderly people are outside, are practicing sports, are in contact with the nature. So I think there are many things about the lifestyle, for example, that
Yes.
are part of the benefits of living here.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, you mentioned many of those things. Yeah.
Yes. And
Great.
also, the flexible working hours is really a thing here in Germany, which I did not. I never experienced that in India. So in India, you have a fixed working hour. So maybe it's from 8 to 5 or something. And if it is 12, if it is a other shift, then it starts from 12 in the noon till 9 in the night. So those are fixed times, and you do not have the flexibility to work at your own preference. But in Germany, I see that it's really flexible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, in times of lockdown, I didn't see companies or managers complaining about the flexibility of having people working from home. I found
Yeah.
it very, yeah, well accepted. I mean,
Yeah.
I work with many recruiters, HR people, hiring managers, and yeah, I feel like people accepted that very well. I think it's part of the flexible working hour culture.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Awesome. So, to finish our conversation, if you could give people living outside Europe, living in India, people who have the same dream you had before to find a job and relocate, what would you tell them?
Yeah. So there are a lot of things which they should consider, but I would touch upon maybe 1 or 2 points which really helped me. So always think that interview is not a one-way process. So whenever you are appearing for an interview, make sure that you are interacting with the interviewer in a proper way. So if the interviewer is asking you a couple of questions, do not wait for the next question to come. Rather, if you have some question in your mind, do ask that. Then it kind of gives an impression that you are really interested for this job, and you are keen to understand what's going on in the company and how you can improve their technology stack or whatever you are going to apply for. So that was the main thing which I always used to focus. So whenever I am giving an interview, I always ask them questions. So I just not wait for them to ask me questions. and know about me, but I also want to know about them. So there were a couple of companies in Germany as well before getting this job where I applied and I was selected for the interview. But then, because of their answer to my question, I had to reject those companies because of certain reasons. For example, one startup where I was almost selected, I had to reject them because of their long-term vision. So they did not had the vision which I was looking for. So those kind of things you get to know only if you ask questions. So it's not just that they need you, you also need them, right? So it's both ways. So that's one thing. And yeah, another thing is when I used to apply jobs, I always do a thorough research, and I apply to only few number of jobs. It's not like I applied maybe 10 or 15 jobs in a day, but I have applied, as I said, one or two jobs in a day. And those jobs which I used to apply, I always used to research them properly. And so my current job, Contact, when I applied to them, I created a PDF file with, I think, 4 or 5 pages, wherein I wrote down a detailed information about what I found on their website, what I liked the most about their services, what are the bugs which I found on their website, how can I fix those bugs. A lot of things I wrote about it. And I think uh, and as an employer, if I look at those information which you provide, I would readily hire you because I know that you have done a lot of homework before applying to this job. So I think those kind of things really works out if you start doing a little bit more research before actually applying for a job. So I think these are the two main key points which I always keep in my mind whenever I applied for a job. Yeah, and I think it always worked for me.
Amazing, amazing. I used to hear similar things from recruiters, from HR people as well. They want to
Mhm.
see the connection and the motivation from candidates. So what you said expressed very well how motivated and how interested the applicant or the candidate is in the job and in the company. And of course, this is important for them.
Yeah,
Great advice. Awesome.
thank
Thank
you.
you very much. It was amazing once again speaking with you and getting to know more about your journey, your strategies, what you did, what you learned, your funny experiences in Germany. I hope this conversation can give some helpful information for people outside who are applying for jobs here, and also can inspire people who didn't even start thinking about the possibility of starting a career here. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
thank you for having me. And it was a really nice experience. Yeah, I also hope that a lot of people gets benefited from this video. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.